Dear soul asterisk, have you ever felt something so deep, so immediate, that it defies explanation? A moment with someone, a glance, a word, a shared silence that left you breathless yet full, as if some forgotten part of you had been returned? What if I told you that wasn't coincidence, that you weren't imagining things? What if that connection was part of a bond written long before time itself? I speak to you now not as a voice from the screen, but as something older, closer than your breath and deeper than your thoughts. I speak to the part of you that remembers, the part of you that has been searching, even in silence, that has felt the ache of absence and the shock of recognition. The soulmate connection is not a myth. It is not fantasy. It is real. And it is sacred. It is the moment the soul recognizes its mirror. Not in flesh. But in essence. In knowing. You may have already met them, or perhaps you've only felt them in dreams. In quiet moments when the world fades away and someone whispers your name from beyond the veil. They are real. And the bond you share is unbreakable, not because it is without hardship, but because it was forged in divine fire. Before this life, before any name you've ever worn. Let me take you there now. Let me help you remember what your heart already knows from the beginning. Soulmates were not meant to complete us. They were meant to reflect us. To challenge us. To walk beside us. To hold the light when we forget who we are. You were not born to wander this world alone. Not forever. And if you felt the pull, the quiet gravity towards someone you barely know, but can't forget, then you've already brushed against destiny. That is how it begins. Not always with lightning. Sometimes with stillness. With ease. As if they have always been there. Because in truth, they have. Do you feel it now? That tug in your chest? That flutter of something ancient rising up as I speak? It is not imagination. It is memory. It is soul memory. Your soul remembers what your mind has yet to catch up to. You've crossed paths with them before, maybe not in this lifetime, but somewhere. You've known their laughter, you've seen them cry, you've held them in moments where the stars themselves stood still. And in this life, you meet again. Not always smoothly, not always as lovers, but always with purpose. Because soulmates come to wake us up. To stretch our hearts wide enough to hold the kind of love that changes us. That strips away illusion. That demands truth. It is not always easy, but it is always real. How do you know you've found them? It isn't just chemistry. It isn't just comfort. It's something quieter, deeper, harder to name. It's the way they see you. Really see you. Not the you perform. Not the mask you wear, but the raw, untamed truth of you. They recognize it. They love it. Even when you can't. Especially when you can't. Your soulmate is not here to rescue you. They are here to remind you of your own power. To walk with you. Not ahead of you. To challenge the lies you tell yourself. To hold you when you break. To rise with you after the fall. They are the mirror. And mirrors don't lie. They show you beauty. And they show you shadow, but always for the sake of your growth. That is how you know it's real. There's no pretending with them. No need. You are enough. You are already whole. They just remind you. And yet the bond isn't perfect. It is tested. It is tempered in the fire of miscommunication, of distance, of fear. But it does not break. It bends. In RASJ. P is. It grows stronger. Because soulmate. Love is not fragile. It is fierce. It survives storms. It learns from the rain. Have you ever fought with someone only to come back softer, more open? That's the work of a soulmate. They're not afraid of your anger. They're not afraid of your wounds. They want all of you, not just the polished parts. They want your shadow as much as your light, because they know the divine is found in both. Together, you grow. Together, you evolve. They trigger you not to hurt you, but to show you what still needs healing. And you in turn, do the same for them. It is a sacred dance. One step forward, 2 steps inward. Sometimes it's messy, sometimes it hurts. Always, it brings you home, because the soulmate connection is a return. Not to the person, but to yourself. To the truth of who you are. And in their presence, you remember that love is not a transaction. It is a transmission, a force, a presence. And you are not here to find love. You are here to be it. But in being it, you will draw in the one who resonates at your frequency. And when you do, the whole world shifts, colors deepen. Time softens, even silence feels like prayer. You may feel like you've known them forever, because you have. You've met across lifetimes, touched across galaxies. Fallen and risen together, more times than you can count. That's why it feels easy. And also terrifying, because love is true. Asks you to show up. Fully. No masks. No armor. Only truth. Only presence. And that's what makes the bond unbreakable. Not control. Not possession. But freedom. 2 souls choosing each other, again and again, not out of need, but from knowing, because they see the divine in you, and you see it in them. And the world becomes more sacred because of it. You walk together. Not always on the same path, but always toward the same light. Even if you separate in form, you never truly leave each other, because the bond is not of this world. It is soul-born. And soul-kept. This connection does not need constant contact. It does not demand proof. It simply is. It exists beyond time. Beyond logic. It lives in the hearts. Knowing. In the quiet certainty that you are never truly alone. Even now, as you listen, part of them stirs. Perhaps they're thinking of you. Perhaps they felt the same whispers in the dark. The pull, the ache. The yearning. And maybe soon, your paths will cross again. Or maybe you'll recognize someone new, and something inside you will sit up and say, "It's you." Not out loud. But within. The soul will speak before the mouth does, and the bond will begin to bloom once more. This connection cannot be manufactured. It cannot be rushed. It unfolds on divine time. It asks you to trust. To surrender. To believe in love that cannot be seen, only felt. And when it arrives, honor it. Don't shrink from it. Don't doubt it, just because it doesn't make sense. Soulmate love rarely does, but it always transforms. It elevates. It refines. It brings you back to the truest version of yourself, the one you were always meant to be. And that is the miracle, that in loving them, you remember how to love yourself. Fully. Fiercely. And forever.